Hi, Mihai here with another OpenShift demo. In this video, I'm going to talk about Red Hat Advanced Cluster Management and show you how it can be used to manage and create OpenShift clusters using multiple cloud providers. In this example, I'm using Microsoft Azure, or import existing clusters across on-premises or cloud environments. First, we need to create a connection to our provider. Within the Advanced Cluster Management interface, click Add Connection, select the provider you'd like to add. In this case, if you want to add Azure, select Microsoft Azure, provide a namespace where the credentials for this will be saved within OpenShift, and then configure it by providing a principal JSON as well as the private and public SSH key you'd like to use. Let's create a OpenShift cluster on Azure. So we're going to use, again, the cluster feature. We're going to click Create a Cluster, and this time we're going to create a cluster called OpenShift Europe Azure. We're also going to give it a base DNS domain, and we're going to select OpenShift and Microsoft Azure as our Kubernetes distribution and platform. For the release image, you can select 4.3 or 4.4. So here we're going with the latest version, and we're going to select the provider connection that was previously created. From the node pool, networking, and labels, you're able to configure how this cluster is arranged. So here, for example, you want to select a region that is close to you. So I'm going to go with something in Europe. That's a big list. There we go. West Europe. And under master pool, I can define what the instance types will be used to control our cluster. So here you can see I'm going with a standard for vCPU, 16 gig of RAM instances with 128 gigs of memory. For the worker pool, I can define how many workers and how those workers are going to be arranged. So perhaps I don't have deep pockets. I'm just going to go with 2 initially, and then I can scale those up using machine sets. Again, I'm going to go with a very small configuration. So here you can see I can go with 2 vCPU, or I can go with a very high configuration, which is going to be obviously much more expensive in this case, but it will give you more resources. For network, I can define the software-defined networking for OpenShift, and I can define the host prefix here, and I can also give my cluster a label. Once I push the create button, this will go in the background and create a cluster for you, and once it's finished, it will be federated, and you'll be able to manage it through the cluster features, and also deploy applications or take a look at features like governing risk. You'll be able to access all of the features just like you would with an imported cluster, and you'll be able to take a look at the dashboard so you can view the topology or overview across your entire cluster estate. If you want to use or you want to federate an existing cluster, you can also go here and click import an existing cluster. So if you're using Kubernetes instead of OpenShift, that can also be federated using this feature, and it will show up under your clusters here as well.